Why should developers care about security?
Welcome back to the Hello World Show. I'm Heather Downing.
I'm Spencer Schneidenbach.
And with me, I have Niall Merrigan.
Hi.
A fantastic ethical hacker and developer extraordinaire. Welcome.
Thank you. So, today, what am I going to teach you?
Yeah.
What would you like to know? We're going to have a little bit of fun because I think one thing developers are always very fascinated with doing like security, and they just go, oh my God, it's in my code. I'm like, well, let's show you a bit more about personal security and how I, as an attacker, would go after you or go after the people who are using your equipment or your systems, and then from there, why you need to secure your systems. So this is a very simple attack. This is all what is known as the rogue AP, or access point. So the idea behind this is we all are familiar with like free Wi-Fi. You know, we give our souls for Wi-Fi. Like as soon as you get off a plane, and I live in Norway, and I get off in the UK, I'm like, oh, I must check Twitter, I must check Facebook. Oh, where am I? I'm checking in here. It's awesome. Must do stuff. Show people I'm somewhere, because we're like that. It's our culture now. And so the first thing we do looking for is internet, right? We go looking for Wi-Fi. And now in Europe, you have like roam like home, so you get to go free, effectively 4G everywhere. But in like if you go to the US, for example, and as a European, I'm like, I need Wi-Fi. Now it's everywhere. The thing is, I can make any Wi-Fi name I like, you know? So I can call it guest, you know, and people will connect to guest because they'll see it and it'll be open, okay? So this is what is known as like we get free Wi-Fi. And this is why a rogue access point and what we do with it makes it very effective, because we can call any SSID we want. And the easiest way to do it is find what is the most common SSID you want, and then broadcast that and people will connect to it. But that's very ineffective because you've got to kind of go off and research. So there's a better attack. And what you do is you use a thing called Karma. And Karma, what it does is it listens over the wire, as in on the wire, take two, over the airways, and says, right, here's what the phones and other devices are looking for. Let me respond to that SSID by saying I am that SSID. And your device goes, yay, internet, yoink. And you're probably wondering, why does our phone or devices do this? It's very simple. It's user-friendliness. Can you imagine having to configure your phone every time you walk past a different SSID or Wi-Fi to reconnect every time? People would be throwing their phones all over the place. So what you do is you use a little device, something like this. Okay, this is a Wi-Fi pineapple, and it is made by Hack5. And what it does is it broadcasts all the SSIDs it knows, and also all the SSIDs it captures, which is really kind of cool. So right now, as we started before the show, you saw there was something like 2,500 different SSIDs being broadcast to all devices around here. If I pick up my trusty little device here, I can find, at the moment, I have, let's see, if I refresh that, I have, it says 10 clients connected to me. I'm broadcasting 2,614 different SSIDs at all this time, and means that all these devices are actively looking for me, or would be looking for Wi-Fi, will be getting ones they know. So, you know, we're in London. So one of the common ones at the moment is called the cloud, I think it's called, like that. So I'm broadcasting as that, so devices will connect automatically to me, and then I'm acting as a man in the middle. So now I have my nice little hat here. That's me, okay? And there's the internet, which is my pineapple, and then there's you, okay? All right, with your device, with your phone. So I can listen to everything that's going over the wire, back and forth, which means I can intercept it, change it, or steal credentials, or if it's over HTTP, for example, change it, because it's in plain text. As we're doing this, you're kind of going, how can you do this? It's very easy, because the fact is that, you know, when you have your home router, and you set it up, and you call it any name you want. You could call it the Hilton Honors. You could call it like any type of hotel chain, and people's devices would connect to it because they would have been at that before.
Right.
Because there's no restriction. Because there's no link between the SSID and the MAC address, which is the network card that's being broadcast. This is a design feature of SSIDs of Wi-Fi in general, and it's one of the reasons why this attack is so effective. So back in about 2009, people started to discover this was a common thing, and they created the Wi-Fi pineapple using Karma. And after that, people kind of got wise to that again and said, instead of having devices actively searching and wasting battery, wouldn't it make more sense if we had the static things like the APs broadcasting and us passively listening? So that karma attack then started disappearing. And someone went, well, how about we use another attack where we broadcast as all the different ones we want, which is this. We call it dogma. That's the dogma attack. There is also a little bug in Apple's devices where if you sent a null SSID, it would send you back all the SSIDs it knew.
Oh, goodness.
Which means you could keep attacking and getting more. So, and then because devices will jump on due to signal strength, whatever, it means that you can just act as a man in the middle. So anything that's going unencrypted over this, I can sniff. So every time you go on to free Wi-Fi, use a VPN. Always. Don't go, oh, there's nothing serious, because people can inject anything they want. And this is a very common form of attack. I use it a lot for social engineering, where I'm trying to get people's credentials. What I'll do is I'll generate a landing page, like you go to any hotel, and it comes up, oh, welcome to this hotel. Please enter your room number or your name and to access our Wi-Fi. You've all seen this, right? And any other, like Starbucks and any other place like that. So what we'll do is I'll create a new landing page that says, hi, welcome to my coffee shop. We're testing a new social login. Put in your Twitter or Gmail or other credentials and we'll redirect you. You put in your credentials, you do automatically just do a HTTP redirect, load Facebook, they're all probably logged in already, boom, you just stole the credentials.
Wow.
And that is why rogue access points are so trivially easy and very dangerous to exploit. And they do them in high density locations like this, like at a conference today. You'll get a number of people all connecting without even knowing. And you can sniff data. Whatever's going back and forth over HTTP, I can sniff. And if it's got HTTPS, there is ways to bypass that too.
So I was kind of curious about the HTTPS port of that. So tell us more about SSL strip.
So one of the reasons why you use HTTPS is because you, as I say, you use it to encrypt the data between you and someone else, so that there's no one listening. So imagine you're in a room and you've got a lot of people around you, and you want to send your credit card to Heather. Do you just like shout it across the room and tell everyone not to listen? Of course not. Everyone would just go, oh, cool, credit card number. Please send the other details, and they'll go off and buy on Amazon or buy on Steam or whatever. So what you do is you encrypt the data between the two connections. Now, there is bypasses for this, because what you do is you will either spoof and say act as another DNS man or another man in the middle here, meaning that you'll sniff traffic, drop all the SSL and reply and send it out over HTTPS to the endpoint. It'll come back over HTTPS, you'll decrypt it at that point, and then send it over vanilla HTTP back to you. You may not notice the missing green padlock. So to bypass or to stop that, then we'll develop a technique known as HSTS, or strict transport security. Of course, there's another bypass for that, but it requires a much more convoluted setup. But if you want a make sure our stuff doesn't get hijacked in transit, make sure it's over HTTPS, because anything over HTTP can be sniffed, or new things can be injected. So in the main thing you should be doing is, if you see a rogue access point or see an access point that you shouldn't normally see in a location, definitely connect over VPN. And I would say if you're going over any network you don't own or don't trust, automatically go over VPN. And that would be kind of the main reasons why rogue access points and this type of attack is so very, very easy to do. That is literally a $100 piece of kit, and as you can see, the battery pack that I'm using is bigger than the device. And that sits in my backpack, and I'll walk around for about 4 or 5 hours capturing different SSIDs, people's traffic. You get authentication cookies, you get whatever. And as you know, you've got a developer audience. It is not difficult to recreate an authentication cookie and then log in as that particular user.
That's very true. It's both scary but kind of fascinating. Like, and this is completely legal to purchase.
Yes, this is perfectly fine. The thing is, it's like if you buy a knife, as long as you don't kill someone with it, this is yeah. Well, like I went and I bought a knife and I used it to cut vegetables. Fine. I went out to cut Johnny, the local neighbor. Bad. So use it for malicious purposes, of course. That's going to get you in trouble because that is breaking laws. But in general, this is just, I use this, for example, when I'm on holidays. I use this as a spare router, and so I will connect up the local hotel Wi-Fi to myself and then share all the devices out. So like, for example, my kids' iPads don't need to be reconfigured. They just automatically connect and they work. So, and I'll have that I can set that without all the different other nasty things in it.
Nice.
Thank you so much
You're
for
most
sharing
welcome.
that with me.
I hope you kind of learned a few bits, and I hope your audience will kind of go, right, VPN, guys, that's what it needs.
Tell us what questions you have for our guests. See you next time.